comments made this week by British Columbia Premier David Eby. The Premier expressed deep frustrations with Canada's immigration laws as they pertain to non-citizens being convicted of or arrested for having been alleged to have committed serious crimes like extortion and subsequently making asylum claims. The Premier called for Canada's laws to be changed. Last November, Conservatives proposed an amendment to Bill C-12, which would have updated the Immigration Refugee Protection Act to bar asylum claims from being made by those who have been convicted of serious crimes in Canada. This was a common sense change that would have prevented abuse of Canada's asylum system and deterred non-citizens from avoiding deportation after committing serious crimes. This amendment was unfortunately rejected by the Liberals. In debate on that amendment, we made virtually the same arguments Premier Eby made in his press conference yesterday. Had this amendment carried, the Premier and Canadians would have gotten a signal that the Liberals were ready to modernize Canada's immigration laws to prevent this ludicrous, and that was his word, not mine, abuse of our asylum system. But in spite of the Liberals rejecting this proposal in November, our Conservative caucus is ready to work with the government to expedite legislation that would make this change, should they choose to table it. The Premier suggested that we not only seek to bar non-citizens convicted of serious crimes from making refugee claims, but also non-citizens who have active judicial proceedings in Canada for serious crimes as well, like extortion. I believe that this would send a message to non-citizens who now accurately believe that they commit serious crimes and avoid deportation by abusing Canada's asylum system. Additionally, in line with the spirit of Premier Eby's comments, the practice of judges giving leniency to non-citizens convicted of serious crimes to avoid deportation must end. There have been endless and patently egregious cases of non-citizens convicted of serious crimes like sexual assault who have benefited from this practice at the expense of victims and Canada's immigration consensus. That's why Conservatives introduced Bill C-220, which would add one line to the criminal code to end once and for all practice which is not in alignment with the spirit of long-established Canadian law. This bill will be up for a vote in a few short weeks, and I encourage the Liberals to support it. And in order to expedite this much-needed change, Conservative members of the Justice Committee and the Security Committee attempted to amend Bill C-14 to include this one-line change, but it was also voted down by Liberal members. So to re-emphasize, Conservatives are more than happy to work with the government to expedite this bill, as well as any legislation that would bar non-citizens who have been convicted of serious crimes like extortion, but also non-citizens who have active judicial proceedings for serious crimes like extortion from making asylum claims.